just for a bit of fun, so, which is something which players obviously can't do at all, is that obviously as a game developer we can do whatever we like. So I can turn myself into a cool monster and running around as the cool monster, rather than having to just be a human all the time. So here's one of our cool monsters in the game. The metal golem he's called. Just the sort of thing you would normally see walking around London, I guess. You know. Depending on the area of London that you're in. So, you know, from a sound point of view, you can see that he has so many different sounds going at the same time. I can trigger off some of the animations. Lots of stuff going on. I can make him. There you go. Let's kill him. We've had enough of this guy. And I can just actually bring him back to life again because I'm a game developer. And if you might be interested, I can just quickly show you that. Obviously, you heard that there was lots of sound going on there, and it all sounds very compact and very much as one sound really, but it's all made up of many, many little sort of granular sounds, if you like. It's very short little things. One of the sounds when he dies, and when it's all basically put together, you can see how it all basically comes together as one fluid sound, really. Yeah. So there's a creature sound. How we go about doing that? What else would you like to hear? You're being very quiet.
We're listening.
Because you're filming, aren't you? I can show you how we do, for instance, the combat music in the game. We're taking a bit of a step up with the Secret World in terms of combat music. Even though the music in Age of Conan was absolutely fantastic, when it came to the implementation, it was relatively simple when it came to combat. But for the Secret World, we're doing something where we're making it far more kind of adaptive to actually what is occurring in the game at the time. So we can say, for instance, basically when we go about actually composing the music, we're composing one long linear piece of music, but then we're actually dividing it up into many, many chunks and basically chopping it up to reflect different intensity values of what might be occurring. So we can say, for instance, you're walking into a dark forest and you're basically nearing some enemies which could be hostile towards you. So we might introduce something like this, something which would basically just kind of lift the tension of the game, and we would let that run for a while just to give the player some warning that, okay, if I was to continue on this current path, then something could happen. Say, for instance, you do decide to continue on that current path, then basically the monster would start to attack you, obviously. So we enter slightly more intense combat music. And now let's say, for instance, that monster that you're fighting now has just been joined by 10 of his buddies. So obviously now the intensity has to be ramped up even more. So if we go to another stage, so here come the buddies now, basically. So now things are going pretty full on now. And this can run basically indefinitely, because we have many, many different chunks of music which could randomly play at any time, but seemingly it sounds like one piece of fluid music. Okay, let's say that with our heroic powers we've just killed off most of these dudes, and now we're just left with one of them again. So now we're basically going to move back down again in intensity, but yet we're still there, we're still fighting. And now you finally finish off that one dude, and then basically return back to the original intensity from where we started. But it's all been derived from one long piece of music, so it sounds nice and fluid. And then you leave the dangerous area, and there you go. The music stops and everything's fine and lovely again.